Okay, so I just got off the phone with Sedgwick and I am highly irritated. So yeah, this gonna be a little rant because I'm highly irritated right now. Excuse the quality. I'm using my front facing camera. But for those of you who don't know what Sedgwick is, it's a third party company that deals with processing claims for certain job companies, like when you want to go on leave of absence or take a medical leave or a personal leave or whatever kind of intermittent leave you need to take from your job. Now, let me tell you my experience with this company, okay? And if y'all watching this video, Sedgwick, if y'all watching this video, please improve your customer service because I'm very unsatisfied with it. Like, seriously. Okay, so back when I had Omari, which was 6 years ago, I work at Walmart. So back then, the personnel department or the HR department in Walmart used to deal with when you needed to go on leave of absence, okay? So years have gone by and now Walmart has hired this third party company to deal with processing their claims. Now, my first time dealing with Sedgwick was last year, July 2015. And for those of you who don't know, I had a miscarriage last year, July 2015. And I had to take a leave of absence from work because that was very traumatizing to me. And I was 14 weeks pregnant because my YouTube fam don't know that, but that's a whole nother video. I was 14 weeks pregnant and I had a miscarriage. Okay, so I needed to go on leave of absence from work because I was like messed up in the head after that. Okay, so on top of that, I had to deal with Sedgwick, which gave me a pain in the derriere. They gave me such a pain taking a leave of absence for my personal loss or whatever. So what had happened last year, I submitted my claim and all this good stuff, and then like when it was all set, I ended up taking like a month off of work for that. So when everything was said and done, they sent me paperwork talking about I was only approved for a week off from work. And I'm like, why y'all just not sending me this paperwork after I done went back to work? And now y'all saying I was only approved. So I felt like they was trying to trap me up to get me fired, saying that I took unqualified time off from work. So I went through hoops and jumps and faxed this and went here and ran there, the doctor, this, that, and other. And they finally worked with me. But I had to jump through so many hoops. Fast forward to now. It's 2016, and okay, so I put in my original leave from work on July the 30th because I started bleeding. I don't know if y'all who remember that video. I'll try to link it above if I can. That I had started bleeding and I thought I was going into labor. So I was like, well, I need to stop working because I'm not sure what's going on. So I took off of work July the 30th, and they approved it from July the 30th to October the 1st. Now, with Omari, I took 12 weeks off from work, which I know 6 weeks is the custom in America or whatever. Take 6 weeks off and then go back to work. But okay, I took 12 weeks with Omari. So I wanted to also take 12 weeks with EJ. Okay. And so basically, they ended up approving me for I want to say about 9 weeks. Okay. And so I actually was supposed to go back to work October the 1st. So, okay. So this is what I did. It was about September the 20th, 2016, which is like just a few weeks ago. Okay. About 2 weeks ago or so. So I called them because I was like, I'm not ready to go back to work yet because for one, I'm nursing him full time exclusively. For two, I gotta try to see about my daycare arrangements and stuff like that. And for three, I just need more time with my baby. Like I just had him. I'm not ready to go back to work yet. I need at least one more month off to get you. I need to start pumping milk and having it bottled up and packaged away for when I do go back to work and everything. So, okay, so I called them September the 20th because I was like, I'm not going to be ready to go back on October the 1st. Okay, so I called them and the lady said, well, you're not approved for FMLA because I didn't work enough hours, the previous year. And I was like, well, okay, am I approved for anything else? Can I take a medical leave? Can I take a personal leave? She was like, you could take a personal leave. You can request it. So I'm like, okay, great. Put me in a request for my personal leave. So she does all this stuff on the computer, whatever. I'm waiting on the phone. And then she had me thinking that everything was all good and Gucci. She was like, all we're waiting on now is for your store manager to approve this. I was like, okay, good. Because my store manager is cool with me. He's a really nice guy. And I'm like 100% sure that he's going to approve it. So I was like, okay, well, that's good. So then, okay, got off the phone with her, thought everything was good, just waiting on my manager to approve it. So okay, today is what's today? I think today is like October the 3rd, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so I get this packet in the mail from Sedgwick saying like they had sent me like medical papers and stuff, like I needed to take them to the doctor. So I'm like, why are they sending me medical papers to take to the doctor if I'm just taking a personal leave? If I'm just, I'm needing more time with my baby, I'm just taking a personal leave. It's nothing medical to do with it. So I'm like, okay, well, let me call them. So we're fast forward to now. I just got off the phone with them. And I had talked to the representative and I was like, I'm just trying to see, what's my status of my leave? Was it approved? I never did hear anything back and they sent me this medical paper. Do I need to take this to my doctor? I really don't understand. Blase, blase. So then she pulls me up on a computer, whatever. She tells me they done canceled. She was like, oh, your request was canceled. And I'm like, it was canceled for what? And she was like, well, you can't have, they call it baby bonding time. I guess it's like a program they have for their full-time employees, where they can get extra time off of work with their babies. She was like, well, since you're part-time, you don't qualify for baby bonding under your personal leave. And they had actually canceled your claim. So I'm sitting over here like, y'all cancel my claim. Ain't nobody call me. Ain't nobody send no letter. Ain't nobody send no text messages. Nothing to let me even know what was even going on. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I'm not knowing nothing about this until like just now. Y'all just not letting me know this. So by then I was highly irritated on the phone. So she was like, okay, she was like, well, why do you need time? Why do you need extra time off from work? And I'm like, well, I want to spend more time with my baby. I'm trying to breastfeed him and I'm trying to like start the pump and have milk for him and trying to get him to take bottles. And I'm also trying to, get my daycare arrangements, together or whatever. And she was like, oh, okay. She was like, well, hold on just for a few minutes. So she put me on hold for about probably like 5 minutes and she came back to the phone and she was like, well, you should know in about 2 days. She was like, I submitted this or that for you and you should know in about 2 days whether they approve it or not. I'm like, whether who approved it? She was like, your caseworker. I'm like, who is my caseworker? She was like, Terry. And I'm like, who is Terry? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what determines whether Terry approves or doesn't approve my personal claim? 1, Terry don't know me. 2, Terry has never seen me a day in his life. 3, Terry don't know my personal situation. So how somebody out of town at a customer service call center going to determine whether I need to spend more time with my baby or not? Like, I'm highly disturbed by that. Like, how does this random person named Terry determine whether I get to spend more time with my baby or not? So I'm like, okay, well, I'm like, is Terry gonna call me? Do they need to ask me like questions? Do they need to like what? You know what I'm saying? What determines whether they approve it or not? So I'm like, well, when am I gonna hear back from them to know if it's approved or not? Like, what's the deal? And she was like, oh yeah, they'll call you in 2 days. They'll call you in 2 days. I don't even believe that because she was like, well, call back by Thursday. And I think to myself, you just said that y'all was going to call me. So now I need to call y'all Thursday to see what the status of it is. Like, so then I was like, at that point, I was like, okay, man. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Goodbye. Because I'm like, I'm irritated now because Sedgwick is making it very hard for me to enjoy this time off of work without worrying about, oh, am I going to lose my job? Am I going to lose my job? Like, it's crazy because America want to be so focused on being healthy and breastfeeding your baby and bonding and all this, but America also focus on, oh, get back to work, get back to work, get back to work. And it's like, it's some countries, like, they get to have like 6 months to 12 months off of work to be with their babies. Like, if I'm not mistaken, it's the UK. It's like one place. Like, they can be off that amount of time with their babies, and they get like some kind of like partial payment. You know what I'm saying? While they're off, I ain't got. I don't get nothing. Like, I'm not getting paid to be off of work with my baby. You know what I'm saying? I had to save money before I went on my leave. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, it's just crazy because, you know, I've worked ever since I was 16. I have worked ever since I was 16. The only time I have not worked is when I had babies. So the only time I didn't work was when I had Omari for 12 weeks. I took off and I went right back to work. And then with EJ, I've been off for about 8 weeks now. About 8 or 9 weeks now. Other than that, I've always worked, so I'm not a lazy person. I'm not trying to get over. I'm not trying to do nothing. Do none of that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to go ahead and do that rant because if y'all are watching Sedgwick, please, work more with people instead of just slapping a claim number on somebody's name. Y'all don't know anything about them. That is just, I don't even understand why we have to go through a third-party company when I used to do that at the job. I had no problems with I had on Mari because HR dealt with it, but now this third-party company, you have to talk to these people out of town who don't know you from Adam, and they determine whether you're approved or not. It's crazy. But at the same time, I'm going to rely on God. I'm going to trust in God because that's all I got at the end of the day, whatever job I'm at. And if it all fails through, like if nothing else, I know that I can just reapply for my job and get it back. I'm not really worried about that. But I would like to stay making the pay that I'm making right now because I've been working at that job for 8 years. I've been working there for 8 years. And so, I would like to stay at my position, my pay, and my schedule that I already have. So that's the only thing why I want to make sure everything goes through smoothly. But at the same time, you know what? It's all good because God got me at the end of the day. And everything is going to be okay. But I just had to get that out. I just had to get that out because I was just the irritation on my body was just itching me. And I was like, yeah, I need to go ahead and hang this phone up before I snap back. And I know it's not the representative's fault. It's just the company's procedure as a whole. Like work more with people. Seriously. But other than that, I'm finished with my rants. Finished with it. Good morning to my YouTube fam. I am having a good day except for that Sedgwick phone call I just made. Other than that, everything is going well. Baby EJ is right here if y'all want to see him. And Omari's Legos. Excuse all of that. That's my boo right there. Who wouldn't want to spend some more time with this boo? You know what I'm saying? And it's just these people making it hard for me. You know what I'm saying? Just making it hard for me. But anyway, you guys, just want to come through, let y'all know what's going on, keep y'all updated with me. If you guys have any questions or comments, just let me know. Thanks for watching.